The rain pounded against the windshield like accusations I couldn't escape, blurring the New York City streets as I gripped the steering wheel tighter. My sister Emily's best friend, Lena, sat in the passenger seat, her usual confident smile replaced by a haunted stare out the window. "Alex, I can't marry him tomorrow," she whispered suddenly, her voice cracking like thunder. And in that moment the world I knew shattered, because the reason she gave wasn't about cold feet, but about the secret feeling she'd harbored for me all these years. I slammed on the brakes at a red light, my heart racing faster than the traffic around us. Lena and I had always been close, ever since Emily introduced us in high school, but this confession hit like a freight train. She was supposed to walk down the aisle in a white gown, surrounded by our families in that grand Manhattan church, yet here she was unraveling everything with words that ignited a spark I'd long buried deep inside. As the light turned green, I drove on autopilot toward her apartment in Brooklyn, my mind reeling. Lena was the golden child, top of her class at Columbia Law, engaged to Mark, a rising star in finance, with parents who beamed at every family gathering. My own life was Messier, a graphic designer scraping by in a tiny Queens studio, still navigating the fallout from coming out to my conservative parents 2 years ago. Emily had been my rock, but Lena? She'd always been the untouchable ideal, the one who laughed at my jokes and lingered a bit too long in hugs. "Why now?" I demanded, my voice sharper than intended. "Your wedding is in less than 24 hours. Everyone's flying in. Your mom, my parents, the whole damn extended family." Lena turned to me, her blue eyes glistening with unshed tears. "Because pretending any longer would kill me, Alex. I've loved you since that summer we spent at the lake house. Mark's a good guy, but he's not. He's not you." The weight of her words pressed down, stirring up memories I'd dismissed as fleeting crushes. That lake house trip 4 years ago, late-night talks by the fire, her hand brushing mine while stargazing, the way she defended me when Emily teased about my artsy career. But love? Real aching love between us? It was impossible. Our families were intertwined. Emily would be devastated, and the social ripple would be catastrophic in our tight-knit circle. I pulled up to her building, the engine idling as rain drummed on the roof. "This isn't fair, Lena. You can't drop this bomb and expect me to." "What? Run away with you?" She reached for my hand, her touch electric, sending jolts through my body. "I'm not asking you to decide now, but I need you to know the truth before I make the biggest mistake of my life." Stepping out into the downpour, she paused, looking back with a vulnerability that twisted my gut. I watched her disappear into the lobby, my phone buzzing with a text from Emily. "Hey sis, rehearsal dinner tomorrow. Don't be late." Lena's so excited. Excited? The irony burned. That night, sleep evaded me as I paced my apartment, replaying every interaction with Lena. Was it mutual? Had I felt the same pull, masked by fear of rejection or family judgment? Morning came too soon, the city awakening under a gray sky that mirrored my turmoil. I met Emily for coffee in Midtown, her chatter about floral arrangements and seating charts grating on my nerves. "Lena seemed off last night when I called her," Emily mused, sipping her latte. "Wedding jitters, I guess." I forced a smile, the secret lodged in my throat like a stone. How could I tell her? Betray Lena's trust, or keep silent and watch her walk into a lie? As the day dragged on, texts from Lena flooded in. "I can't stop thinking about last night. What if we just talked?" Each one chipped away at my resolve. By afternoon I found myself at her door, heart pounding. She opened it, still in pajamas, eyes red from crying. "Alex, thank God you're here." We sat on her couch, the air thick with unspoken words. Lena poured out her soul, the years of denial, the pressure from her devout Catholic parents who viewed marriage as a sacred duty, the societal expectations in our professional worlds where being out could mean lost opportunities. "I've tried to be the perfect daughter, the perfect fiancée," she said, voice trembling. "But loving you makes me feel alive, even if it terrifies me." I confessed my own fears, the rejection I'd faced from Dad, who still barely spoke to me, the isolation of being the gay sister in family photos. Yet as we talked, a forbidden warmth bloomed. Our hands intertwined, not in passion but in shared pain. But then reality crashed in. A knock at the door. It was Mark, early for a pre-wedding check-in. his smile fading as he saw us so close. "What the hell is going on?" he demanded, eyes narrowing. Lena froze and I stood, mumbling excuses about helping with last-minute details. As I left, his suspicious glare followed me, planting seeds of doubt. Had I just ignited a fire that would consume us all? The rehearsal dinner that evening was a nightmare. In a chic Upper East Side restaurant, toasts flowed like wine, but tension crackled beneath the surface. Lena avoided my gaze, sticking close to Mark, while Emily pulled me aside. "You look like you've seen a ghost. Everything okay?" I nodded, lying through my teeth, the guilt gnawing at me. Later, as guests mingled, Lena cornered me in the hallway. "I told Mark I need time. He's furious, thinks it's cold feet." Her whisper was desperate. "But Alex, if I call this off, it'll destroy everything. Our family's my career. What if I'm wrong?" Her question echoed my own doubts. Calling off a wedding for a hidden love? It was romantic in movies, but in real life, it meant shattered trust, alienated loved ones, and a lifetime of what-ifs. As the night ended, I drove home alone, the city lights blurring through tears. Tomorrow was the wedding day, and the choice loomed like a guillotine. Support the lie or embrace the truth at any cost. The church bells tolled ominously as I arrived at St. Patrick's Cathedral, the grandeur of the venue mocking the chaos inside me. Guests in their finest attire milled about, whispering excitedly about the perfect couple. Emily, as maid of honor, bustled around in her bridesmaid dress, oblivious to the storm brewing. I spotted Lena's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Rossi, greeting relatives with proud smiles. Immigrants from Italy who'd built a life in America on hard work and traditional values. The thought of disappointing them twisted like a knife. In the bridal suite, Lena stood before a mirror, her gown a vision of lace and silk, but her reflection betrayed the turmoil. "Alex," she breathed when she saw me, dismissing the makeup artist with a wave. Alone, she collapsed into my arms, sobbing quietly. "I can't do this. But if I don't, Mom and Dad will never forgive me. They think being like us is a sin." Her words unearthed my own buried wounds. Coming out to my parents had been a battlefield. Dad's silence, Mom's tearful pleas to pray it away. Emily had mediated, but the scars remained. "Lena, you have to decide for you," I urged, stroking her back. "Not for them, not for Mark, not even for me." A sharp rap on the door interrupted us. Mark, his tuxedo impeccable, but face etched with worry. "Babe, everything all right?" Lena straightened, forcing composure. "Just nerves. I'll be out soon." As he left, she turned to me. "Last night after you went, he confronted me. Said he sensed something between us." I denied it, but Alex, he's not wrong. The ceremony loomed, and I took my seat among the pews, heart hammering. The organ swelled, and the procession began. Emily walked down the aisle beaming, followed by the flower girl. Then Lena appeared, arm linked with her father, a picture of bridal perfection. But her eyes locked on mine, pleading silently. Vows were exchanged, rings slipped on fingers, and just like that, they were pronounced husband and wife. The kiss was chaste, but it sealed a fate that felt like betrayal. At the reception in a lavish ballroom overlooking Central Park, champagne flowed, but I nursed my drink in a corner, watching Lena dance with Mark, her laughter hollow. Emily found me, concern furrowing her brow. "You've been weird all day. Spill it." I hesitated, the secret a live wire. "It's nothing," I lied, but she pressed. "Is it about Lena? She mentioned you gave her a ride home the other night." Panic surged. Had Lena slipped up? Before I could respond, Mr. Rossi approached, clapping me on the back. "Alexandra, such a beautiful day. Soon it'll be your turn, eh? Find a nice man." His casual words stung, a reminder of the prejudices lurking beneath polite facades. I excused myself, slipping outside for air, where Lena found me moments later. "We need to talk," she said, glancing back at the party. "I went through with it because I'm scared. But being with him feels wrong now that I've admitted how I feel about you." Her hand grazed mine, hidden in the shadows. "What if we could be together?" Secretly at first. The proposition hit like a slap. An affair? Betraying Mark, lying to Emily. It was a moral minefield. "Lena, that's not love, that's destruction," I whispered fiercely. "We'd hurt everyone, including ourselves." But doubt crept in. Was denying our feelings the greater sin? As we returned inside, Mark pulled Lena away for photos, his possessive grip noticeable. Later during toasts, Emily raised her glass. To Lena and Mark, may your love endure all trials. The irony choked me. The night wore on, and as guests departed, Lena texted, "Meet me at my hotel room after. Please." Against better judgment, I went. She opened the door in her robe, Mark already asleep in the adjoining suite from too much celebrating. "This is my wedding night, and all I can think about is you," she confessed, tears streaming. We talked until dawn, dissecting the pressures, her parents' expectations of grandchildren, the firm's conservative partners who might blacklist an unstable associate, the societal whisper that labeled us as confused or sinful. I shared my own battles, the job interviews where I hid my identity, the family holidays tainted by awkward silences. In that vulnerable space our connection deepened, but we drew the line at words, not actions. As sunlight filtered in, reality intruded. Mark stirred, calling for her. Lena kissed my forehead softly, a platonic gesture laced with longing, and I left, the weight of our secret heavier than ever. Driving home I wondered, how long could we dance on this razor's edge before someone got cut? Weeks blurred into a tense routine. Lena and Mark honeymooned in Hawaii, her postcards cheerful but her private messages aching. "Miss you more than words." Back in New York she resumed work, but our friendship intensified. Stolen lunches in hidden cafes, late-night calls dissecting our days. Emily noticed first. Over brunch in Soho, she eyed me suspiciously. "You and Lena have been hanging out a lot." Mark mentioned she's been distant. I shrugged it off, but guilt festered. Then came the confrontation. Mark called me one evening. "Alex, is there something I should know?" "Lena's phone, your texts are intimate." Panic gripped me. "We're just friends," I insisted, but his silence spoke volumes. That night, Lena showed up at my door, bruised not physically but emotionally. He accused me of cheating. I told him it's emotional but not. You know. We held each other, the line blurring dangerously. The turning point came at a family dinner. My parents hosted in their suburban New Jersey home, the table laden with Italian dishes in honor of the new in-laws. Tension simmered, Dad's pointed questions about my lifestyle, Mrs. Rossi's gushing about future grandkids. Lena and I avoided eye contact, but under the table, her foot brushed mine, a silent anchor. After dessert, Emily cornered us in the kitchen. "Okay, what's going on? You two are acting weird." Lena cracked first, tears flowing. I love Alex. Not Mark." The room spun. Emily's face paled, betrayal etching her features. "How could you? On your wedding? With my sister." She stormed out, slamming doors. The fallout was swift. Mark arrived, summoned by Emily, his rage palpable. "You bitch!" He spat at Lena, then turned to me. "And you, stay away from my wife." In the chaos, choices crystallized. Lena chose truth, packing a bag that night amid shouts and pleas from her parents. "This is unnatural." Mr. Rossi bellowed. "You'll regret this." She left with me, crashing on my couch, our world in ruins. The days following the blow-up were a whirlwind of accusations and isolation. Lena moved into my tiny apartment temporarily, her belongings in boxes stacked like barriers against the outside world. Calls from her parents went unanswered, their voicemails a mix of anger and desperation. "Come home, Lena. We can fix this with counseling." Mark filed for annulment, citing fraud, his lawyers digging into our affair with vicious efficiency. Emily's silence hurt most. My sister, once my confidant, blocked my number, her last text a dagger. "You destroyed everything. How could I trust you?" I reached out through mutual friends, but she shut down, retreating into work at her marketing firm. Amid the wreckage, Lena and I navigated our new reality. Mornings were quiet coffees, evenings deep conversations about the cost of authenticity. "Do you regret it?" I asked one night, as we sat on the fire escape overlooking Queens rooftops. She shook her head. "Regret loving you? Never. But the pain I've caused, it's unbearable." Work became a battleground. At her law firm, whispers followed Lena. Partners questioning her stability, clients hesitating. One senior associate pulled her aside. Personal drama like this? It reflects poorly. Think about your future. She fought back tears in the bathroom, texting me for support. My own freelance gigs dried up. A client cited distractions after hearing rumors through social circles. Social media amplified the drama. Anonymous posts on forums labeled us homewreckers. Friends unfollowed en masse. Lena's old college group chat exploded with judgments. She led Mark on, that's cruel. We deactivated accounts, but the sting lingered. A turning point came when Mrs. Rossi showed up unannounced. Standing in my doorway, her face lined with worry, she pleaded. Lena, this isn't you. It's a phase. Come back, and we'll pretend it never happened. Lena stood firm, voice steady. Mom, I love Alex. This is who I am. The door closed on sobs, but the encounter shook Lena, awakening doubts. What if they're right? What if I'm ruining my life for a fantasy? I reassured her, but my own insecurities surfaced. Was our love born of crisis or genuine? Nights blurred into arguments about money, since Lena's savings dwindled without Mark's income. About family as holidays approached without invitations. Thanksgiving loomed and we spent it alone, takeout turkey a sad substitute for gatherings past. Then betrayal struck from an unexpected angle. Emily, in a moment of rage, confided in Dad, who called me furious. You've corrupted Lena. This family's falling apart because of your choices. His words echoed my fears, that I was the catalyst for destruction. Lena sought therapy, sessions uncovering layers of internalized homophobia from her upbringing. I was taught love looks a certain way, she shared. Breaking that mold feels like betrayal. I joined her occasionally, confronting my resentment toward family expectations. As winter blanketed New York, glimmers of hope emerged. A progressive colleague at Lena's firm offered support, connecting her with an LGBTQ+ network. We attended our first Pride event discreetly, surrounded by stories of resilience that mirrored ours. But progress was halting. Mark's annulment proceedings dragged, his demands for emotional damages escalating. One evening, over dinner in a cozy Greenwich Village bistro, Lena proposed. Let's make this official. Move forward despite everything. Her eyes shone with determination, but I hesitated. With all this chaos, we need stability first. The argument escalated at home. You're scared, she accused. Of committing, of facing more judgment. Truth stung. I was terrified of losing her, yet paralyzed by the costs already paid. Reconciliation attempts faltered. I met Emily at a neutral cafe in Chelsea. She arrived guarded, arms crossed. Why her? Why my best friend? Tears flowed as I explained the organic pull. The years of unspoken feelings. It wasn't planned, Em. But denying it would have been a lie too. She softened slightly, admitting her hurt stemmed from feeling blindsided. I need time, she said, leaving a crack in the door. Lena's confrontation with Mark was harsher. In a mediator's office he unleashed. You used me as a cover. That's unforgivable. She apologized sincerely, acknowledging the pain. I was wrong to marry you knowing my heart was elsewhere. He stormed out, but later a text. I hate you, but I get it. Move on. Christmas brought mixed tidings. My parents invited me alone, but I declined, choosing solidarity with Lena. Her family sent a card and signed a silent olive branch. We decorated a small tree, toasting to survival. But shadows lingered. Lena received a job offer in San Francisco. A fresh start, but it meant uprooting. Come with me, she urged. The decision loomed. Sacrifice my New York roots for love, or risk losing her? As New Year's fireworks lit the sky, we stood on a Brooklyn rooftop, arms entwined. We've paid dearly, Lena whispered. But is it worth it? The question hung unanswered as the year turned. The job offer in San Francisco dangled like a lifeline, or a noose. Lena's eyes lit up discussing it. A progressive firm specializing in civil rights. A chance to advocate for others like us. It's perfect, Alex. We could build a life away from the judgment here. But New York was my anchor, my clients, my network, the gritty energy that fueled my designs. Uprooting meant starting over. A daunting prospect at 28. We debated endlessly. What about Emily? I argued. We're just mending fences. Lena countered. She'll visit. This is our future. Tensions mounted, small irritants exploding. Dirty dishes symbolizing deeper resentments. One night it boiled over. You're holding us back, she shouted. I retorted. You're running away. She slept on the couch, the distance palpable. Reaching out to Emily became crucial. We met again, this time at her apartment in Harlem. Lena's thinking of moving, I shared. Emily's expression softened. For you too? That's big. Over wine she opened up. I was jealous, hurt. But seeing you fight for this. Maybe it's real. A tentative hug sealed progress, but she warned, Dad's still furious. Give him time. Lena's parents escalated pressure. Mr. Rossi called, voice stern. Come home or you're cut off. The inheritance, the family business stake, gone. Lena hung up, trembling. They think they can buy my conformity. It fueled her resolve for San Francisco, but deepened my fears of isolation. Professional setbacks hit hard. My biggest client dropped me after hearing about personal scandals. Code for our relationship. Lena's firm demoted her subtly, assigning menial tasks. They're pushing me out, she confided. The offer became a necessity. Amid turmoil, moments of joy sustained us. A weekend getaway to the Hamptons, walking hand in hand on empty beaches, rekindled the spark. Remember the lake house? Lena mused. That's when I knew. We laughed, cried, reaffirmed our bond. But betrayal reared again. A mutual friend, loyal to Mark, leaked details to a gossip blog. High society wedding implodes over lesbian affair. Comments flooded, supportive from strangers, vicious from trolls. Lena's firm cited reputational risk, suggesting resignation. Devastated, she accepted the San Francisco job. The move decision crystallized. I'm going, she announced. With or without you. The ultimatum stung, forcing introspection. Was love worth the sacrifice? I consulted a therapist alone, unpacking fears rooted in past rejections. Emily mediated a family meeting. At a neutral diner in Jersey, Dad sat rigid, Mom teary. This isn't natural, Dad grumbled. I challenged him. Love is love, Dad. Denying it hurts more. Lena added. I've lost so much but gained myself. Mom softened first, hugging Lena. Dad grumbled assent, a fragile truce. Packing began. I chose to go, selling my possessions, bidding farewell to New York. Emily helped, tears mixing with laughter. Don't be strangers, she said at the airport. San Francisco welcomed us with fog-shrouded hills and open arms. Lena thrived at her new firm, championing LGBTQ+ cases. I freelanced remotely, building a portfolio. But adjustment was rocky, homesickness, culture shock. Arguments flared over finances, Lena's long hours. A crisis tested us. Lena's mom fell ill, a heart scare. Flying back, we faced the family. At the hospital, Mr. Rossi nodded curtly. Thanks for coming. In waiting rooms, conversations thawed. Stories of immigration hardships, shared values beneath differences. Mom whispered to Lena, I'm proud of you no matter what. Recovery brought reconciliation. Dad admitted, I was wrong to judge. Emily visited often, bridging coasts. Yet scars remained. Mark remarried quickly, a pointed reminder. Social circles shifted. Some friends faded, new ones emerged. As we settled, Lena proposed again, this time on a Golden Gate overlook. Marry me, Alex. We've earned this. Tears in my eyes, I said yes. Planning our wedding was cathartic, small, intimate, in a vineyard. Invites went out, responses mixed. Emily as best woman, parents attending warily. The day arrived, vows exchanged under sunny skies. Through betrayals and awakenings, Lena promised, I'll choose you always. Kisses sealed it, applause from loved ones. But as we danced, doubts whispered. Had the pain been necessary? Could we have chosen differently? Life post-wedding hummed with newfound stability. Our San Francisco loft overlooked the bay. A symbol of fresh starts. Lena's career soared, arguing landmark cases for equality. My design business flourished, attracting clients who valued authenticity. Weekends were hikes in Muir Woods, dinners with new friends. a community that embraced us without question. Yet, echoes of the past lingered. Holidays meant cross-country flights, navigating fragile family dynamics. Thanksgiving at my parents', Dad's awkward attempts at inclusion, like asking about our lifestyle without judgment. Lena's family visited once, Mr. Rossi stiff but polite, gifting Italian wines as peace offerings. Emily became our anchor, her marketing savvy helping promote my work. "I'm glad you two fought for this," she confessed during a visit. "It made me question my own prejudices." Her words healed old wounds, but reminders of costs surfaced. Lost friendships, career detours. A professional dilemma arose for Lena. A high-profile case defending a woman in a similar situation. Married, then leaving for a same-sex partner. Opponents accused hypocrisy, dredging up our story. Media scrutiny intensified. Old blog posts resurfacing. "Homewrecker hero?" one headline sneered. Lena wavered. "Should I step down? It's too personal." I supported her. "Use it. Turn pain into purpose." She persevered, winning the case, but the toll was evident. Sleepless nights, anxiety spikes. Personal awakenings deepened. I volunteered at an LGBTQ+ youth center, mentoring teens facing family rejection. Their stories mirrored ours, reinforcing the ripple effects of our choices. One girl, outed by a sibling, asked, "Was it worth it?" I paused, reflecting. The freedom? Yes. But the hurt? It's a heavy price. As years passed, 2 then 3, our bond evolved. We discussed kids, adoption agencies welcoming. But doubts crept. Had we idealized love, ignoring ethical gray areas? Mark's new life, happy with a family, prompted guilt. Did I rob him of that? Lena wondered. A reunion in New York tested resolve. Emily's wedding, ironic given history. We attended, facing old faces. Mark was there, cordial but distant. "No hard feelings," he said, but his eyes betrayed lingering pain. At the reception, Mrs. Rossi pulled Lena aside. "I see now you're happy. That's what matters." Tears flowed, a full circle. Back home, we reflected on the journey. Confessions in rain-soaked cars, shattered weddings, cross-country moves, hard-won acceptances. The drama had forged us, but at what cost? One evening, watching the sunset, Lena asked, "If we could go back, would you change anything?" I thought of the betrayals, sacrifices, awakenings. "No," I said. "It led us here." But the question lingered, broader now. In pursuing true love, did we cross lines that were unforgivable? Or was every painful step justified in the name of authenticity? Was it right to upend lives for personal truth? Or wrong to prioritize individual happiness over collective harmony?